Well, that is the CS for Energy, Charles Ketera, just reassuring the public that the cost of electricity will be addressed eventually, which everyone is hoping to see will happen soon enough. Well, as I told you, on the second part of the show, we want to talk about growing your business as well as getting some insights from a renowned coach when it comes to helping out businesses and, of course, giving mentorship to young, aspiring business people. Well, I'm now joined by Charles Kinuthia, who is the Chief Executive Officer for Wealth Fitness International, joining us here on KTN News. Many thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, Charles, right now, a lot of Kenyans getting into business, many trying to diversify their income from people who are employed to the people who went to school to study entrepreneurship, and some are not making it because of different reasons, be it capital, be it a management issue, and of course the reasons can be from here to Timbuktu. But let's just start off with, from your experience,
Yes.
what makes a successful business?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that make a business successful, and I think there is just that persistency. I think sometimes we get to business with the wrong mentality that I'm going to start and it's going to be a hit by tomorrow morning, and then we find out that that's not the case. So a lot of time it has to do with you adjusting accordingly and constantly learning. So there is persistency, and you know, with persistency, I simply teach also on mental toughness. Business is not easy. I mean, we live in a shark eat shark world. So you go out there's other competitors, and the question we always asking is, why should people come to you? I think once you define the question why and become a why entrepreneur, it's easier to go through the difficult times. Mm-hmm. It's not you know, how much are people going to invest in you. It's not how you're going to get the customers. It's why should customers come to you? Mm-hmm. Why should somebody invest in me? Same thing goes to capital. The problem is not really capital. The problem is people not knowing how to pitch the right investors to get the capital they're looking for. So again, there's that knowledge base that once you know and you apply, you can succeed in business.
And you raise a very pertinent question,
yes.
Kinuthia, around why. Why should people come to your business? And of course, this sort of points us to the direction around, is your business solving a problem? Because one of the things that I constantly hear from people who are business coaches is that entrepreneurship is about seeing an opportunity and seizing it. So how do we enable someone to see problems that they can have solutions to?
Well, actually, that's a great question. So one of the things is I always tell people that look at where people are complaining the most, and instead of complaining, go and offer a solution. I mean, we talk about companies like Uber. Uber, you know, just saw an opportunity and they went into it. They did not invent a mobile app. Mobile apps existed way before then. They did not invent a vehicle. Cars existed before then, but they just saw an opportunity. People are complaining, they went and offered solutions. So I think when you have a solutions-based mentality, it's constantly looking for solutions to ordinary problems, then that's where your greatest compensation comes in. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And to take this conversation forward, Kinuthia, one of the other big things that we see many entrepreneurs endure is the businesses fail to pick up.
Yes.
Be it in the first year, second year, and eventually many SMEs fail to even mark their 5th birthdays.
Yes.
All across Africa. What really ails SMEs? Is it a scalable kind of approach towards business? Is it a question of sustainability? Where do we get it wrong?
Well, actually, Forbes, which is a national organization that does a lot of surveys on business, they said that actually 1 out of 18 businesses will go past the five-year mark. So I agree with you on that. I think we forget that there's 2 fundamental things when it comes to business. That's marketing and innovation. So it doesn't matter the size of your business. What you should be constantly asking yourself is, how do we market? How do we innovate? Everything else is a cost when it comes to business. But once you master marketing and innovation, which of course marketing has a lot to do with branding, then you can be able to scale your business. The other thing, of course, you have to understand is a lot of business owners are focused on very tactical things instead of strategic things. That's another research that was done about 3 years ago, and they found out that 96% of all the businesses that failed, their owners, CEOs, managing partners, they focus a whole lot on tactical things than strategic. So again, those are some of the things that we coach people on and businesses.
All right, and speaking about coaching, I'm sure there are many opportunities to engage with the various SMEs across the country. Yes. And one of the things that is lacking in the Kenyan market is constant forums where people can engage. How do we get people to be part of this? And how do we communicate this so that people turn up and we can have sustainable ways towards reaching out to the young people?
You see, the problem is, especially with even the young people, is that nobody wants to have some skin in the game, okay? I've done this event in 26 different countries. From here, I'm going to London, then Switzerland, then South Africa. And it's funny because you offer a free event like we're doing next week, July 13th, at the Trademark Hotel inside Village Market. People don't show up. Then when it's a paid event, they actually show up. Mm-hmm. People don't want to pay the price. And I think in business, if you're not willing to pay the price, you cannot be able to grow your business. Everybody is skeptical. Any business event out there, they're out there to get me. No, absolutely not. You know, one of the things I tell people is that you can never waste knowledge. You can only invest in knowledge. So go out there, look for different forums, different networking opportunities. Go pick the good stuff, and the stuff that you cannot apply, don't use it. But go out there. You should be in constant, search for knowledge, and not just knowledge, but knowledge that you can apply in your business.
All right.
Yes.
Quite a powerful way to end the conversation.
Not a problem. Thank you so much for having us, and hopefully to see you guys next week at our event, Wealth Fitness Seminar. The website for more information is www.wealthfitnessnairobi.com. You can find more information for this free event. Thank you. Right.
Great place to end the conversation with Charles Kinuthia there. And quite a powerful quote that I picked from him is that you can never waste while investing in knowledge. Well, take that as food for thought. Well, we want to wrap up the show now by taking a look at some international news now. And meanwhile, Britain's Prime Minister, Theresa May, says free movement from the European Union will end under the Brexit plan. In an interview on the BBC, May, however, refused to rule out making it easier for EU citizens to travel to Britain than for people from the rest of the world. May secured a cabinet agreement on Friday for her plans to leave the European Union, overcoming rifts among her own ministers to win a support for a business-friendly proposal aimed at spurring stalled Brexit talks. Let's take a listen in on that interview.
Free movement from the European Union will end. Free movement from the European Union will end. What I've said before, and we'll continue to say, is we recognise that people will still want to carry on travelling to Europe, and Europeans travelling to the UK. People will still want to have opportunities in each other's countries, as we have for people from around the rest of the world.
Some form of preferential treatment in the future.
What I'm clear about is that we will bring an end to free movement as we look ahead to the immigration rules for people coming from the European Union. We need to look at that in the context of the wider rules we have for immigration from outside of the European Union, and we will decide the rules that are right for the UK.
So it's possible they may still get some preferential treatment?
We are going to decide. What we're going to do is say what works for the UK, what's right for the United Kingdom. We will put our national interest.
British Prime Minister there, Theresa May, wrapping up for us the show with her talk on the issue around Brexit. Let's see how that comes up in the next few days. Well, that's why we want to wrap up the program this afternoon. It's been a pleasure bringing you the news. And let's quickly recap our Twitter poll question just before we call it an afternoon. And today we're asking you, do you think the move by do you think that Kenya's engagement in fiber optic technology has fully opened up the data and home